Tell us the inspiration for this film.
Oh. Big film. Well, hi, my name is Jules Koostachin. I'm Cree from Ottawapiskat First Nation, and Shannon Koostachin is my relation. And unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to meet her. She's a lot younger. She's like my kid's age. She passed away at the age of 15. But her advocacy and activism is her legacy, to shed light on the fact that Indigenous children in Canada do not have equitable access to education. And she and others in the community and her allies fought to get a new school in Ottawapiskat. And one day I was at work, and this is, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, and even longer, I think. I was at work, and I was thinking, how can I support Andrew and Jenny, who are her parents? Because at the time where she passed away, there was like a makeshift kind of memorial on the side of the highway, and a lot of kids were paying tribute to her activism and pulling over on the side of a highway with lots of transport trucks and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, this is so dangerous, right? How can we pay tribute to this amazing young warrior? And I was sitting at work, and I called her dad, and I was like, hey, Andrew, I want to do something. And he's like, yeah. And he goes, I want to make a monument for Shannon. And at this time I was like, oh, I don't even know how to do a monument. I just put it out there. And he was like, I was just thinking about her and how we can, pay tribute to her work. And then I was kind of locked in. And I was like, why did I do that? Oh my goodness, I don't even know how to make a monument. And then hence that's when my buddy here, my really good friend, Rick Miller, an amazing documentary filmmaker, came on board. So maybe I'll pass it on to him. Okay.
I'd heard stories of Shannon from Jules for a couple of years, mainly Shannon's early death, her quite tragic death. And then I got this crazy text, from Jules. Hey, let's make a monument. Let's make a movie. It's like, okay, let's. And I was on board right away. Shannon's got such a wonderful legacy. We wanted to be a part of that. We wanted to help memorialize her. We wanted to continue to tell her story.
Would you consider this maybe being a follow-up to Alanis's Hi-Ho Mistake?
No. I'm from this community. It's my community, and I've been doing work in the community for a long time. I love Alanis, but this is our project. Like, this is something that we wanted to ensure that people understand who Shannon was as a 15-year-old kid. I think there's a lot of stuff about Shannon out there, and she's like, this, what do you call it when someone's...
She's this icon.
Yeah, she's an icon, right? So for me, knowing Jenny and Andrew, they lost a daughter. She was a 15-year-old kid, right? And she had hopes and dreams, and she wanted to be a lawyer, and she was this spunky, firecracker kid, and, and I wanted to pay tribute to her as a person and her family. And this monument was a gift to her family. So, and it's because I'm close, like this is my community. These are my relations. So it's a different kind of thing than being from outside of the community, right? So in terms of this film, we wanted to make sure that kids across the country saw the monument if they weren't able to visit Temagami.
And what would you think Shannon would say if she saw this monument and your film, of course?
I'll let you answer, then I'll answer.
I think Shannon would be embarrassed. She was humble. She didn't think that she was doing anything extraordinary, even though she was. I think she'd literally be embarrassed by seeing her statue up there. But at the same time, she might find a little bit of pride in it, because we want the statue, we want the film to motivate other young women to do the same sort of work. And that's what Shannon was trying to do, was to get more kids involved, to get more schools on more reserves.
Oh, I was just gonna, for me it was more of a spiritual thing, because I never had the opportunity to meet with her, and she's the same age as one of my sons. So when I was going through the hardship of trying to find money for the monument, which was very expensive, and taking a line of credit and all that fun stuff, I was praying to her. And then, there was days where I was like, what have I done? I don't know how to do this. I'm going to be in debt, and then I would just see the sun shine through the clouds.
Right.
Or I would feel this warmth, and I'd be like, okay, she's with me. And still to this day, like, I feel she's present and on a spiritual level. And even to this day, like I said, when I'm feeling like I'm facing some challenges, I just kind of think of, Shannon dancing in a regalia. I think of the work that we did. And it was from the heart. It was a passion project, right? So I think she's with us. Maybe she is. I know I didn't meet her, but just based on what we heard from Andrew and Jenny, I just think she'd be happy that we're doing this work for her.
What's the feedback in regards to the actual monument, and how are the youth or Indigenous youth, how are they reacting to that?
So because, like I said originally, the kind of community memorial was on the side of the highway. It was very dangerous for school buses to, pull over. Now we have the monument. We actually selected the place, Temagami, because that's where she had to leave her community to go to high school. And her sister Serena was sharing with us that, by the waterfront was her favorite place. So we erected the monument right beside a kids' park. And there's a parking lot, and it's right by the water. And we have 2 butterfly monuments right by the monument, so that the monument's not very big. It's child, like kind of, eye to eye for kids. So, now buses can pull over, and then they can take their time, and they can go to the park, and then, the spirit of Shannon can actually hear them playing in the playground. And then when we actually unveiled the monument, there was an eagle flying. We had an elder present. We did a prayer. We were welcomed by the First Nations, so we followed protocol. So yeah, I think a lot of kids, and I see posts on Facebook all the time. We're not always in those posts, but we're like, we did it. No. So this is also like, as artists, we actually did this work. But it's not ego, please. But it's just an affirmation that we donated like 3 years of our lives for this project, for the kids and for the family.
Now tell us how it feels to be here at Planet in Focus, especially with your film here being selected.
Right. How do you feel?
We're really excited.
It's a premiere.
It's our premiere. Jules and I both became filmmakers in Toronto. We've got a lot of filmmaking friends here. And we have a lot of friends in the Aboriginal community here too. So we're really excited to premiere the film here in Toronto with so many of our friends and so many of Shannon's supporters. And we're also excited that some of Shannon's cousins and relations are coming down from Attawapiskat. Planet in Focus has flown down a couple of young filmmakers from Attawapiskat, and we're so excited to meet them and see some of the work that they've done too.
Yeah, just to touch on that, when Planet in Focus invited me to be the lead filmmaker for a filmmaking workshop in Attawapiskat in May. So when we went up there, the kids made 22 films. Nice. So they're also in the program. Okay. Yeah, so that's why we have kids coming down, and then hopefully we'll be there again next year.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck for your film. Thank you.